Hello everyone, I am Suparna Babu. Welcome to NDAC YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about few important DAX functions which we required for our real-time analysis. Let's see what are those DAX functions. If you see here today we are going to explore about filter, earlier and earliest. Filter, earlier and earliest. So let's begin the DAX function exploration. So let's start with the filter. So before going to that, first let me go to the table view. So in table view, if you see, I have a table called Tata TB. TB stands for table. So here if you see, I have order ID, product name, discount, sales, profit, quantity, category, subcategory values are there. So here if you see, this is actually it contain some category, subcategory and product name data along with sales, profit and quantity. So now here if you see, here we have in category, let me clear all filters. So here if you see in category, we have three categories: furniture, office supplies, technology. So in subcategory, we have different type of subcategories are there. Let's say now my requirement is I want to see only chairs data. I want to see only chairs data from this table. So simple, very simple. Just select this, select the filter to chairs. Now it is filtered to the chairs. 383 rows are there. So 383 rows are there. So now it is filtered, but my requirement is I want to completely create a new table like this along with only chairs in the subcategory, along with only chairs in the subcategory. So let's do how to do that. Select this and click on new table. Why new table? Filter is a table level DAX function. Filter is a table level DAX function. So now let me take CHA chairs subcategory. Okay, so let me take filter. So let me come to the second line. Press shift enter. So now let's see the first what is the syntax of filter. So it will accept table and filter expression. So returns a table that has been filtered. Okay, let me call the table. What is our table? Tata TB. And filter expression. What is filter expression? I want to see the chairs subcategory sales. So let's take the subcategory column equal to chairs. Let's close the bracket. Let's click OK. The moment if I click OK, now it will create a new table called chairs subcategory. So now here if you see, there is a new table created. The table is chairs subcategory. So now let's go and verify how many values are there here. So when I click this, now you can see only chairs. So here what it is happening, it is filtering the whatever the data related to the chairs with respect to the subcategory column, okay. So let's see here how many 383 rows are there. Let's go and check in the Tata table. Let's from here let me filter the chairs. Let me filter the chairs. So 383. So now it is matching. Okay, fine. So now this is about filter DAX function. Now let's go to earlier. So earlier is also a DAX function. Earliest and earlier will be the similar kind of function. So let's take a scenario. The scenario is, see, this is my sales orders table. So in this I have three columns: order date, order ID and sales. Here if you see, actually I ascended value, I ascended dates, okay, from lowest date to highest date. So it started with 3rd January and ended with 2019. Fine. So now my requirement is here in this scenario. So I want to count the dates. I want to count this all dates in a separate column. Let's say 3rd January 1. 4th January we have 1, 2, 3. So 3, 3, 3. So 5th January we have only one date, that's why 1. 6th January we have almost 8 to 9 dates are there, so 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 with respect to the 6th. And 7th we have two values, 2, 2. Like this is my requirement. Okay, let's do that. How it is possible? Select this sales order, take a new column. This time why new column? Earliest is a column level function. Earliest is a column level function. So now let's take here what we are doing. We are doing the date count earlier, date count earlier. So press shift enter. Now first what I will do, I'll take count rows. So what it is doing, so I want to count the rows, that's why I am taking the counts. Actually it return a table, so it could be a physical table, it could be a virtual table. What is meant by virtual table? In this count rows measure itself we can create a virtual table on the fly. So let's take next filter. So filter already we explored. By using the filter we created this column. So in the count rows this filter will create a one virtual table. So now it is expecting two arguments. Let's take table and let's come to the next line. Now take earlier DAX function. In this earlier, so what you need to do, you need to pass a column. So which column we are looking to count? We are looking to count order date. Okay, order date. So here if you see the syntax is, here you can pass column name and number. Here you can pass column name and let's close this. And now is equal to, let's take again order date, then close the bracket. Now here what we are doing, so you know count rows and filter, then here what we are doing, this earlier function will equal to the this normal date. So so this date equal to this date and how many count, so count is 1, and here how many, this equal to this equal to this equal to this 2, 2, 2, 2, and again this equal to this is here condition is failing. Now this equal to this, because here we are getting again new date. Whenever new date, again it will start counting. That's how it will return 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, not how many 6 are there, that's 6. So let's click commit. Now here if you see, now it will return a new calculated column. So now here if you see 3rd January, because it is repeating one time, because only 3rd January one transaction is happened. Okay, 1. And 4th January how many transactions happened? 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. 5th January how many transactions happened? 1. That's why it written 1. And 6th January, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's why it is returning 999. This is how you need to use the earlier inside the filter, inside the counter. Okay. So this is about earlier DAX function. Okay, let's go and see what is our next DAX function, earliest. Okay, fine. For this, I'll take one more scenario. First, let me explain the scenario. So let's go to the table view. Here if you see, there is a table called customer sales. Let's see what is this customer sales. In this we have 3 columns: customer, order quantity, sales. So here if you see, Sean Miller did this much sales, Tom did this much sales, Adrian did this much sales, and Ken 14,000, Sanjit Chand 14,000, Sanjit Ingale 14. Okay, these people made the same sales. In the same way, these 3 people made the same sales. Now let's define the requirement. Now here if you see, I want to see the how many customers on below the Sean Miller with respect to the sales. Let's say after the Sean Miller 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 customers are there. And bottom of the Sean Miller 13. Let's say Tom. Tom it should be 12, because on below the Tom we have the 12 customer. And below the Andrian we should have the 11 customers. This is how we need to create a calculated column here. So let's take a new column. So in the same way how earlier will be the calculated column, this also calculated column level function, column level DAX function. So now we need to count the customer count. We need to count the customer count. So now here let's take customer count. So let's come to the next row, take same count rows, and in the count rows come to the second line. Now take filter, because we need to take a filter because it will accept only table level function. So take a filter. So in this let's call customer sales, then comma. Now here what we will do, we will take earliest DAX function, earliest DAX function. So in this let's take sales, let's take sales because I'm going to count with respect to the sales. Let's close this, greater than, again take sales. So now what here it is doing, it will first take the 25,000. Is it greater than this? Okay, it will go row by row by row, and how many rows are there? Okay, it will return the count. Then it will go to this one, again it will check, because it is not, it will go row by row and check this, because it should not be greater than 25,000. Okay, that's why, that's how it will calculate. Okay, so now let's close. Now it will return a no new calculated column. So now it is written the calculated column called customer count. Okay, so let's check verify and details. Okay, so now as expected 12, as expected 11, but why there is 8? It should be 10. Why there is 8? Okay, let's go and verify. So here if you see, these three customers made different sales. So but these customers made same sales, 14,000, 14,000, 14,000. Then why it is showing 8? Okay, so why it is showing 8? After this 3 14,000, then start counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So it is because 14,000 is not greater than 14,000, it should be equal to 14, that's why it is 0, that's why it is 0. Then 14,000 is greater than 11,000, yes, that's why count starts from here, count starts from here, that count starts from here. That's why it should returning the 8 now instead of 10. Okay, then in the same way 12,000, 12,000 is greater than 11,000, yes, that's why count starting from here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So in the same way 11,000, after 11,000, 1 2 3 4 4 4 4 4. So hope this is clear. So this is how you need to understand the earliest. This is a one type of scenario. So this is about earliest DAX function. So with that, so today we learned this filter, earlier and earliest DAX functions. Let's see. So what is the difference between these two? There is a summarized table. Let's see filter. Filter, it returns a table that represents a subset of another table filtered by given by the expression. This is the input. It should handle this. This is the syntax. And earlier already we took an example. So refers to the value of a column in the earlier row context, useful in nested rows context like calculated columns. So it should not use single standalone DAX function. It should be used in some other DAX function like count rows and filter. So that's how here it is written, nested row context. Then earliest, similar to the earlier but used in the Power Pivot for Excel, it retrieves outermost row of the context value. So this is the syntax. So this is about filter, earlier and earliest DAX functions. I hope you all like this video. Please like, share, comment NDAC YouTube channel. Please subscribe NDAC YouTube channel. Thank you watching for this video. We'll meet you in the next video. Thank you all.